Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 30th of May to the 5th of June 2022. We obviously start the week with a new moon in Gemini, and new moons can take a window of up to 2 weeks. So for the next 2 weeks, with the new moon in Gemini energy, we can afford to wait until after Mercury turns direct before finalising our intentions. But this moon is at 9 degrees Gemini, so please do look at where that is in your chart. And the general theme is unity, finding mental peace and clarity, and clearing space. So for this, the Mercury Retrograde is very useful, because this one's all been about having the conscious mind go back and look at stories from the past, look at where we've attached emotions and timelines to thoughts and beliefs, to be able to actually see whether that perspective was true, or whether we've actually had that experience and we're now ready to let it go. Because we're not supposed to drag everything forwards. Conscious mind is a sharp sword when we get the mind to work for us, and with a retrograde going back to have a look at some of our mentalities and perceptions has been absolutely invaluable. So Mercury turns direct around the 2nd or 3rd, depending on where you are. So we're going from the 10th of May to the 2nd or 3rd of June to have a look at what's changed, what we've intentionally, consciously changed. Because this is how we make the space. This is how we clear the past, and this is how we master the mind to find peace. So very powerful combination there, as the Mercury retrograde has largely been to do with Gemini, which is where it starts and finishes, but it's taken us back into Taurus, which is the heart of the matter. So we've been able to change emotional states as well as mental states. And the whole phase finishes at the 19th of June, just as we approach the summer solstice. We also this week have Saturn turning retrograde right at the end of the week on the 5th, and Saturn has been holding the fort in home sign Aquarius. So we're generally sculpting, we're getting to the core of our true essence, letting go of any baggage, any weight, anything that's not us, so that we can be strong and centered, but also helpful here to break those past timelines as well, to be able to think outside of the box, to be able to escape, claim our freedom, and essentially use our vibration for positive manifesting. So we're actually manifesting all the time. Whatever you're thinking and feeling can go out in a waveform and attract back to you. Whatever you're oppressing becomes deeply magnetic and attracts back to you stronger situations each time until you can face them. So with Saturn in Aquarius, Saturn is always do the work voluntarily, make yourself proud. And as we have a retrograde through to mid to late October, then we can go in and do some fine sculpting, really get to the core of our unique frequency, not having to conform, comply or please, but just take this opportunity to get to know your real self, what you stand on and for, on a deep soul level. Break restrictions, break patterns, habits, limitations, but there's also a sense of soft surrender as well, not having to. If you feel that you've lived your life trying even harder, doing even more, then there's a sense with this tour of Saturn through Aquarius that you can give up, really. And by up, I mean up. So giving all of that effort up to your higher self, learning to follow more intuitively where the flow's going, listen to your intuition, consider your unique timeline rather than measuring yourself against others, and listen to what's really important to you and what your deeper self is teaching you. So a long retrograde there as we enjoy Saturn in Aquarius, and we won't have it for another 28 or so years once it's moved on, so we're dealing with a large life cycle there. So new moon in Gemini, Mercury retrograde largely in Gemini, and Saturn in Aquarius. We can see that we're in the element of air, which is the mind and consciousness. And in the times we're living in with so much mental dis-ease, it's very important to clear your mind, as that really can lead to creating your world. What you think and feel, you act upon, and you bring into being. But the backdrop to this is very harmonic. There are quite a few planets in either their home sign or home element. And it feels like everything's coming back to where it should be. We spoke last week about Mars and Jupiter in Aries starting a new 12-year cycle for Jupiter, and that feeling of being fired up inside and putting our valuable energy towards something. So when Mercury does go direct and we're still within the 2-week window of the new moon, then with all these other planets in a natural state of harmony, I feel we've got some quite fertile ground ahead. So consider what it is that you want to plant, dig up any last remaining weeds, and generally tend to your garden, as I feel we'll be getting great rewards for all of our efforts. So if you'd like to see where this is happening for you, I am available, zoehind7@gmail.com. Feel free to contact me to arrange a call. We can customise chart readings, lessons, coaching specifically for you. This is a great time to learn astrology with Saturn in Aquarius, and tarot really works wonderfully well when Mercury's in a lively mood. These are ancient and reliable guidance systems in a world full of distraction, so I really do recommend that you harness them for your own sense of peace and well-being. Please do like and share these videos, as it does help them get out to others who might benefit. And I'm wishing you a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week.